know, it's been a while. It's been, I think, quite a while. And in part, that's because of Shabbat, but in part, that's because the person I'm living with or staying with has returned from their holiday or wherever they were. So I don't feel comfortable vlogging there. And I can't vlog here because other family is here and I don't have my room. So it's fine. I don't mind. I actually really don't mind. But it means that the camera gets English. Well done, Raquel. That was great. This morning, I made a bit of a rogue call, and that was to walk to work. And it's about, I would say, an hour's walk. I got distracted by that message. And basically, I had already said to myself I might walk back from work at the end of my shift, but I've never walked to work. I've walked back once, and I always said to myself, I'll never do that because I don't want to be worried about running late. But actually, I usually would prefer to walk because you can control the speed at which you're walking, whereas you can't control if there's traffic or whatever. And I woke up really reasonably, actually. I woke up at 7:30, went back to sleep, woke up at 8, which was half an hour earlier than I'd set the alarm for. And I just thought, I'll get up and I'll take my time. And this was before I decided I was going to walk. I just thought, I'll take my time, showering, I'll take my time preparing my lunch, everything, blah, blah, blah. And I did take my time, but I still ended up being ready so much earlier than I was anticipating. And especially with it being a Sunday, the journey on public transport is so quick. So I didn't want to hang around here because I can't do anything, I can't go anywhere. So I just thought, I'll walk. Let's just walk. And it was actually really nice weather out. It was a little bit sunny at times, but there was also a fair amount of shade. But there was a really nice cool breeze, and actually the temperature wasn't very hot. It was just the sun that was warm. So it suited me very well. I'm wearing, my leggings as well as my skirt, and I'm wearing walking shoes. My trainers. So I was really glad I made that call. I was really glad, and I still ended up getting to work 20 minutes early. So there's that. And the shift was good. I mean, it was quiet, but I was working with someone who I've not properly worked with before, and she was lovely, so that was nice. And as I was leaving, the person who was taking over from me is someone who I really, really like, and I really like working with, but I've not worked with for probably about 6 weeks, I would say, so it was so nice to see her. So that was nice as well, and then I had a nice and easy journey back, and literally as I came home, my family was leaving, so actually that's kind of worked out well for me because it means I now have the next few hours to myself just to chill here without any expectations, any hindrances, nothing at all. So that's nice for me. I think the rest of the week's been pretty chill. I don't think I worked Thursday and Friday as I always do and just loved it. I really, really like that shift. I was thinking to myself, it's the kind of job where if I were to tell people that I'm doing it, people would say, oh, but you can do so much better than that. Like, why are you doing such a, nothing job? I think that's how people sort of maybe from school or, even my parents maybe, although they're very supportive, but how they would perceive it if they thought, this was my career choice, this is what I'm doing instead of acting, if I was doing this full time. But actually, I love it so much. Like, obviously, I still want to be acting and I'm still auditioning for things and I'm not giving that up. But in my head, if I were to be doing this full time, this other job, I'd be very happy. I'm very content in that job. I genuinely enjoy going to work. I enjoy being at work. I feel good when I've left at the end of the day. I feel it's so nice because it's so unexpected. I mean, not really. I knew that this was something I wanted to do. I knew that it was something within admin work that would tickle my fancy, so to speak. But I guess I've just not really given myself the opportunity in the past I couldn't really in the past do it. And I'm so glad I did hold off at the start of this year to find a job like that, because as I say, I would be more than happy to do it full time if I didn't do acting as well. So that's that. And then for Shabbat, I went to shul, which was nice, although it was very quiet and it was a very quick service. And then I came home. My grandma went out for lunch, but I had lunch at home, and that was really nice as well, just to have my own space, good food. My grandma prepared something lovely for me, which was totally unnecessary, but very good. So overall, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And I'm wearing these earrings today, which I've worn, I think, once before, and that was for actually you may not have seen, there's a video going up about, like, an app styles me, whatever. And that's the only other time I've worn them. And I just thought, I'll put them in because they kind of match, they do match the blue top. and see what happens. See, I mean, it's a bit too fancy, I would say, for what I'm wearing. I'm wearing quite a casual outfit, but I did get a compliment on them, so that was nice. So now I'm either going to edit, because I need to catch up on a lot of editing, or I'm going to watch something with a friend, and they're the one who just messaged me. So we haven't been able to watch anything in a while because they've been very busy, and actually I have too. So hopefully, if they're free now, which I think they are, then we can watch something. Although I really do need to catch up on editing. I feel like there's more I want to tell you, but I can't think of what. So we may just leave it here for now, and if I come up with anything, I will let you know. Oh, I've just opened YouTube and it's reminded me I need to do my Dear Hopefuls video. So I'm going to do that right now while I wait to hear back from my friend. Hello, dears. Hello, I am home. I feel like I haven't talked to you in quite a while, and I know that that's because I've not had a space to myself in quite a while. I really wanted to film last night, but I wasn't on my own. This morning I moved back here, but my cousin, who sleeps late, was in my room, and so I was at the kitchen table just doing lots of editing, and I've still got a lot of editing to do. I'm currently editing the video of me being styled by an app for a week, which I think will have already gone up by the time you're watching this, so I'll link it up here. And it's just taking a long time because I want to be thorough with it and I want to do a good job of it because it's a fun video and I don't want to look back at it and think, oh, I wish I'd done more. But in the meantime, I've also done a self-tape today and consequently filmed a video, not a singing video, but just a video to do with the self-tape that's also going up on my channel. I don't know if it's before or after this video, so I can't talk about, well, I won't talk about it yet. And then I've also just got an email through. I have an audition on Friday, which I did know about, but I've just got the material through. So I've started looking at it and it does look really fun. It looks totally up my street. So I don't need to learn it off by heart, which is nice, although I'll do my best to get familiar with it. And then I also got a message from my colleague at one of my jobs just asking about something. And it was something that I have never been trained on. So I was just a bit like, oh, I'm not sure what's happened. I don't know what I've done wrong. I'm sorry that I have done something wrong. And then we kind of talked a little bit and I said, I'll come in tomorrow because tomorrow I'm hoping to go to a dance class. And the reason I'm hoping to go to a dance class is because I've got a free ticket for a show in the evening, which I'm hoping is a real ticket. I got it like 4 days ago and I'm really hoping it's a real ticket. So it's kind of all worked out really nicely because the timings are perfect in my opinion. Like I'll go to work at 1 and I'll stay there for however long it takes for me to learn the stuff I need to learn. And then I've got the dance class, I think it's at 3:30, I believe, off the top of my head, but obviously I need to get there and I can walk there. It's just going to be a long walk, which is fine. And then that finishes at, call it 4:30, I might be wrong. And my friend's actually, she messaged, she's saying to say she's also going to that same dance class, so maybe we'll hang out after, I don't know. And then the show obviously I think starts at 7:30, I presume, maybe 7, I hope 7, that would be nice, but it's probably 7:30. And I really hope it's a real ticket, but at least if it's not, I mean, it's free, so I haven't given away any money, and it's not like I've even wasted, you know, the cost of coming into town because I need to be in town anyway. So in that sense, that all works really well, and I think tomorrow's gonna be a good day. I feel like it's gonna be good, I reckon. And I feel like today's been good. You know, I don't love, and I didn't love the fact that I didn't have access to my room because I would have loved to just like be in my room doing the stuff that I was doing, but at least I was able to do a lot. And even now, like this afternoon, I feel I've done so much, I've been so productive, and that just feels so good. I mean, I've done a lot of editing over the last week or so because every time I'm here, the last week, I couldn't get into my room. Well, I could have if I'd asked, but there were 2 people in this room. So I was on the kitchen table and there wasn't really very much I felt I could do. So I just edited because I had so much from my vlogs, so many vlogs and clips to edit. And I feel like I'm really catching up now and it feels so good. So yeah, things are going well. I don't have any plans for the rest of today, although we are going out supposedly to eat Indian food and I am looking forward to that. I already had a look at the menu because I need to look at menus before I go anywhere because I am indecisive and I need to know what my availability is, what my choices are, what I like, what I'm going to order. And I've already seen something I think I'm going to order with paneer and it just looks amazing and I hope it's not spicy. I'll have to ask when I get there, but I think it's going to be good. Can you tell I'm like running on a high at the moment? I feel like I don't know where I've got this energy from, but I'm like, I think it's from being so productive, having had such a good day and afternoon. I don't know what time it is. I have no idea. I'm going to look at my phone in a second, but I'm going to guess that it's about 2:30, but I genuinely haven't got a clue. 4:40! I haven't got a clue. And there's a piece of cake waiting for me in the kitchen, and I feel like maybe it's waited long enough, and I feel like maybe I should go and eat it, and I can edit a little bit more while I'm eating it. I really want to try and finish this video today. That is my goal for the rest of today. Finish the wearing video and also edit my self-tape that I did this morning. But it's not urgent. I think I need to send that off by Monday morning, so I've got time. All right, those are all the updates. I will see you whenever I see you next. I don't know when. And also because I am still sharing my room, it's gonna be limited. This is gonna be, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I mean, I'll try and vlog tomorrow anyway, because it should be a good day. And you know what? If it is a real ticket, the show I'm going to see, the show I've got a free ticket for, is Why Am I So Single, which is by the same people who've done Six. And if I do get to see that show, I think I'm going to be the only person on the planet who has seen that show before they've seen Six. At least as of, if I see it tomorrow, as of tomorrow. Which is probably an easy thing to say in the sense of like, I'll be one of the few people on the planet to have ever seen the show anyway, because it opens tonight. So I'll be the second audience. But I think that the Venn diagram of like ever having seen the show and ever having seen the show but not seen Six, I would be amazed if there's more than like 5 people in that middle circle. And I will be one of them, if it's a real ticket. I really hope it is. They seemed like a real person. We shall see. All right, I'm gonna have some cake. Bye. Hello. Okay, this time it really has been a while, and I have no idea what the last thing is that I spoke to you about, and I know that there's a lot I want to talk to you about, and I don't know how long I have because my cousin's currently in the shower. As you can see, I've been here the last week, just under a week, and my cousin's been here, so it's been lovely, but I've been working, they've been busy, you know, it's not been constant, which, as I've mentioned before, is kind of good for me, and I think good for them as well, to be honest. They're a bit like me in that they don't want too much. And yeah, we've had a lovely time. I'm trying to like work through each day and figure out what we did or what I've done. I think on Monday, I really don't know the last time I spoke to you, but on Monday I went to work in the morning, which was super boring, and then went to a family party in the afternoon. It was a shared birthday party for my cousins, and it was a dessert party, which is like the best theme for a party ever. So that was really nice, lots of family around, and it was just good fun. Then on Tuesday, I think my cousin went out on their own, and I think I stayed home and just did editing, and I think I had to film a self-tape, and I think I filmed a video as a result of the self-tape, but actually I need to redo the self-tape because I didn't realise something, so that was a bit annoying. But it's not for an actual job, so if I don't have time to do it, because I need to do it before Monday morning, if I don't have time to do it tomorrow, and I will have time if I don't have space to do it tomorrow, then it's not the end of the world, but I would like to do it. And then on Wednesday I had a fantastic day. It was so good. You may have seen some clips, I don't know. I went into work, first of all, just for an hour, just to be taught one or two little things that, you know, we realise as we go, because this is the job where I don't work at the same time as anyone else, so I only find out if I've done something wrong, sort of when I'm not there. And then sometimes it's easy enough to explain, but this specific thing was like, let's go through it, let's talk about it, and there's a few other things we should talk about, because we always leave notes for each other, and it's just easier to talk about it and actually just like solve it once and for all. So that was really good, felt good to get it done. And then I went from there, I walked to a dance class, and this dance class was so outside my comfort zone, like probably one of the worst I've done so far in terms of like pushing me outside my comfort zone, but so good. And I went with a friend, so that was nice as well, and it just felt good to do. You know, it was hard, but I did it. And like I watched the video back at the end, and I was like, no, do you know what, like I've actually been able to pull it off, and I don't usually feel like I can, and I usually feel so uncomfortable that, you know, it inhibits me, and this didn't for once, which is like, it's cool to see that progress. And then, I mean, I went with a friend, I don't know if I mentioned that, so that was nice, and we chatted for a bit after, and then I went to a show. And I may have mentioned this already in this video or somewhere else, but I believe I am probably one of like very, very few people, maybe like 5, maybe 10, who have seen Why Am I So Single before they've seen 6. So let me chat about it as much as I can for the time being. As always, I will probably talk about it more in my favourites and probably more in my end of year. One moment. Alright, sorry, can't promise that won't happen again. But, right, let me talk about this show. I went in not knowing loads about it. Like, I knew that it was a queer story, or that there was a queer character or characters. I had heard 2 of the songs at West End Live, and I'd liked the dancing. You know, it was okay, but I wasn't blown away by it, and it wasn't something that made me desperate to go see it. And that's another thing, like I would not have gone to see this show if it wasn't for someone giving away a free ticket, because it wouldn't have been something that spoke to me. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I had great seats, so that always helped, and it was a free ticket, so that also always helped. And the people next to me, I had 2 women next to me who were super lovely, and we got chatting, and that was just, it just helped sort of with the experience, and it turned out they were Jewish as well, so that was also nice, and they shared some snacks, so like that, the whole experience felt good. It felt like a really good experience, and I'd come off the high from the dance class and from work and everything, so I was in a good mood and I was ready to enjoy a show. And also I feel like the last few shows I've seen have been a bit more sad or dark, or not as, you know, happy and fun. I mean, I suppose Kathy and Stella was, but this was really fun and funny and making me laugh out loud, which I feel I haven't done at a show in a long time. And I mean, the cast, that's like the one thing I keep coming back to. The cast were phenomenal. Every single person on that stage, every single person, phenomenal. Like total triple threats, all of them, every single one. Another moment. I thought the choreography was really good, like really, really good. I loved the choreography, and again, the dancing was just so strong as well to like help. So that was great. The costumes were fantastic. Basically, what I've been telling people, you know, in person, is that the story is not one that would sell anyone on a musical. Like, I don't think, aside from the fact that obviously they've had the success of 6 and therefore were able to get away with this, I don't think the shows would be made with this sort of plot, because it's kind of a nothing plot. And I suppose it does get a little bit more interesting towards the end. But there was something I was expecting to happen. There was like this one mysterious thing that you were waiting to find out, and I was so convinced it was going to be one thing, and I would have been so happy to see that, but it wasn't. It was something a lot more obvious that I was like, oh well, okay. But then I suppose that's life. But then anyway, I won't talk about it because I don't want to spoil it, but that was like, I was like, oh, you could have done something more with that. So that was a shame. But what they did end up going with was also very important, and I can totally see why they did it and why it was necessary. But what I've been telling everyone is that the plot is not the reason you would go see the show. They are selling that plot with the dance, with the songs, with the costumes, with the set, with everything else, the script, everything else around it, which is making it funny and bright and colourful and enticing, but it's not the story that is calling to you. As I say, it does get more interesting as it goes on, but it's not the primary reason for seeing the show, in my opinion. It was a bit long. On the website it had said 2.5 hours with an interval, so including, but I think it was almost 3 hours. I think it was 2 hours 50, and it did feel both at the end of Act 1, or both in Act 1 and in Act 2, there was a moment where it felt like, okay, this is the end now, and both times there was still another like 20 minutes or so of each act, and it did just feel like it dragged a bit, but this was in previews. As I say, this was literally the second night it opened, so it's possible that down the line, by the time you're seeing this perhaps, that they've cut it and, you know, made those changes where necessary. Especially in Act 2, there was one number that they started and it felt like it was going to be the finale, and then halfway through it was not. So that was like, again, you kind of were ready for the end. And then what they added was interesting and was good, and, you know, I could see why they added it, but then something else needs to go, because it did just feel, at least to me, like too long and too dragged out, and just didn't, like, on the whole, the momentum was good, but then you had these moments towards the end of Act 1 and Act 2 where it didn't flow as nicely, I thought, anyway. I mean, what do I know? I just wanted to be on that stage. That was, like, the main thing I cared about, and I was just enjoying it. And the jokes were good. I mean, I've seen shows like Slave Play where the jokes are not for me. And look, comedy is subjective, and Slave Play is probably a super subjective play to begin with, but there's a lot of comedy in shows that I don't enjoy. I have a very, like, clean, innocent, I don't like dirty jokes, I don't like stupid, like, I like puns and clever jokes, and I don't know, there was something about the humour that I really enjoyed, which I haven't seen recently, I feel, in shows. I feel like I feel like Kathy and Stella was a bit more dirty, I don't know, but I know that this was something I actually thought was fun and light, and there was some adult humour, but it wasn't, like, crude, I guess. I don't know, I felt more comfortable with it than I have in a lot of other shows. So that was Wednesday, and then Thursday I worked, which was fine, good, I think I enjoyed it. I don't think I did anything Thursday night, I can't remember. Oh, of course I did, it was the bar mitzvah. We had a family bar mitzvah of one of the cousins, actually, that I used to babysit, so, you know, really know very well, know the family very well, and this kid is adorable and super cheeky and sweet and lovely, and the whole family is, and it was just a party, like this, it's a party kid as well, so, it was huge, and it was a bit much for me, a little bit much, but I did thoroughly enjoy it, and I wore my graduation dress, my green sparkly one, which made me very happy. So that was really nice, but it finished quite late, and then Friday morning I got up early to go to work, which was fine, but then I was doing a couple of hours at work before going on to an audition, and luckily, very luckily, this audition wasn't a singing one, because my voice was gone. Well, not gone, but it wasn't at its happiest after the party, and also we think there's probably something going around in the family, so I really wasn't at my finest, but luckily it was all spoken rather than singing. And the audition was, I think, a 4-hour audition. It was like a workshop audition, and it was so much fun. Initially, going in, I was a bit worried because A, I didn't really know much of what to expect. It all felt a bit vague, but B, I was kind of gutted about missing work and, like, missing out on pay and letting down my colleagues and all that. So I did kind of go in being like, I don't really want to do this, but the people I met were so lovely, and the whole experience was such fun. Like, it just was fun. It felt like a drama class, and it was fun and happy, and, you know, I almost don't even care about the result because I just had a great day and met some lovely people. So who knows what's going to happen, but I just really enjoyed it, and that was really nice. And then it was Friday night, so we just had Shabbat at home. And then today is now Saturday night. This morning we had the shul service for the bar mitzvah boy, which was also, again, just really lovely and lots of family, which is so nice. And then we had lunch at family members' houses, or at one house, and that was ridiculous. It was so good. There was so much food, and they had, I had the regular food first, obviously, but also, I'll get on to that. They had a dessert table, and I'm the kind of person who can't help myself at a buffet. I need to try everything. Even if I don't want much of it, I need to try it. So I had a meringue, I had a rugelach, which is a pastry I can't describe. I had a macaroon, I had pavlova, I had some fruit, I had, I think, one or two other things, a donut. I had so much food on my plate, but like donuts and rugelach and things like that are piece in the meringue. They're all one size. You can't just pick it. Oh, they had like this cookie dough, which was incredible. So that at least I could like peel a little bit off and just have a little bit. But I ended up luckily being able to share a lot of it because I was like, I cannot eat all this, but I just want to try all of it. So that was amazing. And then they also had a drinks section, like an open bar. And I don't drink alcohol, but I like finding non-alcoholic drinks, and they had one drink. I didn't know what it was, but later they said it was Pim's, which had it looked like apple juice with fruit, to be honest, like bits of fruit, and I thought that looks quite nice. But they said it was alcoholic. I was like, can we do like a non-alcoholic version of it? And they said, well, we can do it with some juice or whatever. And I was like, actually, could you do Sprite instead? And they were like, well, we could do Sprite and apple juice. And I was like, let's try it, sure, why not? And what they made was delicious. I ended up getting 3 in total because they were just really good. I really enjoyed them. And again, there was just lots of family, and it was all really, really lovely and a great time. Great day. But one thing I absolutely am so annoyed about, and I don't actually think I mentioned this earlier in the year when a similar thing happened. A couple of weeks ago, standing at the sky's edge. Oh, I'll come back. All right, my camera's running low because I filmed a lot today, but just to finish up what I was saying there, a couple of weeks ago, standing at the sky's edge closed, and I had been wanting to see it for ages, but I didn't realise it was closing at the end, either the start or the end of August, I can't remember now. So I kept saying to myself, oh, I've got time to see it, I'll go see it when there's a free ticket available or whatever, it's not a priority for me, I've got time. And then it got to like the week before it closed, and at that point I realised that it was closing, and I think I had lots of different things on that week, so I wasn't able to go, and I was gutted. And the annoying thing is that shows often end on a Saturday night, so I can't go the Friday night, I can't go the Saturday matinee, and I cannot go the Saturday night because of Shabbat. So that's annoying anyway. And then a similar thing happened this time round with Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. I really wanted to see this, although again wasn't desperate to, and I knew it was on for a while. And my cousin and aunts went to go see it, and they said it was brilliant, so I was like, okay, great, I'll go see it. I think I've got until the 14th of September to see it before it closes, and I've got time. But when I double-checked, it was not the 14th of September. The 14th of September was Kathy and Stella, which I saw with my cousin, but Two Strangers closed on the 29th of August, once again, a Saturday night. And I think I realised this on Tuesday, and Tuesday night we were going out to eat as a family. Wednesday, I'd already booked my dance class for the matinee and had a show in the evening. Thursday night, it was the bar mitzvah. Friday night was Shabbat. Saturday, both shows were Shabbat. So I didn't get to see it before it closed, and I am so gutted. I'm hoping it comes back in some form. I'm expecting it to. I feel like it will, but I'm just like, oh, I'm so annoyed that I missed out. And that's just because I didn't think. So yeah, that's something I need to get better at, and that's why I felt good about going to see Why Am I So Single, because it was like, I know I've got months before it closes, but it's not something I'm desperate to see. But I'm sure that once the reviews come out and everything, I will want to see it, and then by then it'll be too late, things will happen, whatever. So I just feel like I need to be stricter with myself, that when I see a free ticket up for grabs, or even a cheap ticket for a show that, is going to be closing, I need to just grab it. Even if it's not going to be closing, it might still close. Well, it will still close at some point, I just don't know when. But I try and not go to too many shows, especially after work or if I'm working a lot, because I know that, it does feel tiring. You don't get to go home and just calm down and switch off. But I've now had twice that I've regretted it, so I need to be better. I need to be more on it. But anyway, I've had a good day today. What have I done? Not very much, to be honest. I filmed to self-tape, hence the headband. I spoke to my parents for a long while, which was amazing, and we're like so close to booking Australia, which is crazy, really crazy, but also super exciting. I had some lunch. I edited the self-tape, I've uploaded the self-tape. I feel like that's more or less it. And now I'm probably gonna just do quite a bit of editing, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot I need to do. But I mean, it's only 3:30, so I've still got a lot of time, and I don't think we've got any plans for tonight. And then this coming week, I can't remember if I mentioned it already, is gonna be manic. I think I'm working 6 days this coming week, so it's gonna be intense, but it should be good. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. And tomorrow, even though I start at 9, I think for the first 3 hours, it's going to be pretty chill. And then same on, I think Wednesday, I'm working all day, but not as intensively as I normally would. And actually Tuesday as well. So I think it's going to be a bit of a calmer week I feel like it's going to be intense, but actually I feel it's going to be less than what I'm expecting it to be. In a good way though. Right, I'm gonna get on with things. I've also been trying to catch up because I've been so busy and, you know, with my cousin here and everything, all my like daily stuff has just been thrown to the wayside. Is that the expression? I don't know, but that's all needing to be done now as well. All right, that's it from me for now. I'll see you either in the next clip or in the next vlog. Bye!